a lot.
Well, I hope you're ready. This could be another one of those explosive games of Dota 2 here between Mineski and J.Storm. We're in the second game of this lower bracket series. Elimination on the line, at least for Mineski that is the case, because they are one game down. Welcome back. CORSAIR Dream League Season 11, live from the Monster Energy DreamHack Studios. I'm Shiva and I'm here with Sir Action, Slax and Admiral Bulldog, and we are ready to dissect what these teams have in store for each other. Opening bans are on the way. We got the Slardar removed with the Magnus and the Enigma.
They're thinking about Lifestealer right now, hopefully.
Yeah, I hope so too. I think that is the reason why we saw Jimmy clap. Yes, we got the Lifestealer. Let's have an applause for that.
Yeah, I wanted to wait till their headphones were on because I didn't want to freak them out. But what do you even do after that last series? I mean, they first picked Lifestealer, and you can tell they were like, oh yeah, we got this under control. They got all the heroes that they wanted to get in order to counter that, your Oracles, your others. And then he just steamrolled them. At this point, I mean, I hope you got something else in your back pocket because that's so scary. Or you could just ban them, for gosh sakes. Do it, Mineski.
Well, you can't get too psyched out, though. Overall, I felt like still Mineski had a better draft last game. They just got a little bit, the lanes were just too weak, right? They just got a little bit snowballed, and so just calm down, pick a little bit stronger lanes. No need to panic here. You can still just ban a Lifestealer though. That here is just disgusting right now.
Yeah, look at how much bonus time they're using for these first couple of bans. And normally these are the things that you actually prepare and you know kind of what opening you want to go for. But Lifestealer removed.
I don't disagree with that. And you can tell they took their time because, as you were saying, Shiver, they probably thought, yeah, we can counter this, we can work towards it. But at this point, just get rid of it. Too scary. Rubik, first pick on J.Storm.
Yeah, counters everything. Can just take their spells.
Nobody can beat Rubik. He's invincible.
What?
Well, not really. In fact, a lot of people have beaten Rubik this tournament.
Yep.
But I'm over it. I'm over my first pick Rubik in pro game. Anger. I'll just leave it to my pubs to be upset with people that do that. Don't do that in pubs, for God's sakes.
Is it time for some Pangolier again?
Let's see it.
Some Pangolier.
Panga was first phase banned against Mineski previous game, but this time still in the pool and they don't go for it.
Ember Spirit Prophet. A strong start, but a predictable one. Now they know what that strat's going to be, and they're going to probably focus on a lot of catch here on J.Storm, aren't they? Although we did see a Spirit Prophet game where they had 0 catch. They just went and hit towers, and that worked out great.
Yeah. It's probably support Prophet. I don't think... does Kaipi play it? I mean, I guess he does, but... Seems like just Pilot Eye is going to protect the Ember in the safe lane if they want to do that. It's going to give him a really good lane. Very solid hero, and just pick up the Oracle. Is very good against Ember, because a lot of Ember's damage is his shield, and you can just purge it away. It's very sad for him.
All right, you know, I'm going to have to say this, though. I don't like Oracle and Rubik. We talked about this before, but Rubik does really well when you have other stuns, more lockdown. Oracle and Rubik, both okay healers, pretty good. I mean, excuse me, Oracle okay healer, Rubik okay stunner. He typically wants a little bit of all in on that, wouldn't you say?
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm scared. Rubik, Oracle, not the greatest support combo in the world.
It's a little on the passive side. But they did do well on the lanes previously, and perhaps they're just confident on them being able to work that again.
They offer a decent amount, just do a lot of damage as well. Like sometimes you have 2 supports that do no damage, and you just get kind of scared in team fights. Like Prophet kind of can fall off heavily. He doesn't have a... Well, he does, regardless, if you support. So, all right, we got Necro banned.
10 seconds.
Still no Pangolier.
Still no Pangolier.
I want to see some 4F Pangolier. You should ban it, otherwise you're picking it.
Turn to ban.
Pretty annoying for Ember as well. It's good in the lane against him. And just all that stun. Seems like these teams are ignoring Coddle as well. They don't like that hero.
Yeah, they have also, neither of them have played it in their game so far.
Do you think that it's too risky to pick Ember Spirit this early, Bulldog? Because a lot of teams kind of leave that for the last pick. They kind of rotate around with that a little bit. I mean, opening up with Ember, aren't there plenty of heroes that can really tear them apart?
I mean, if you get a lot of lockdown, it is really hard for him to play, which we've seen a lot of times, but I guess it's just they're really confident with it. They practice it, and they have a player who loves to play it. So you just get it. And when you have the Prophet available as well, you just can guarantee he's going to have a good lane, which is kind of his weakness for a long time, that he has struggles in the lane, he falls behind, and he can't really do what he wants. But with the Prophet, he's going to get that decent lane, or even good, and just going to go ham.
Turn to pick.
Team pick. Elder Titan. Okay. Sure. That worked out okay last time we saw Elder Titan, right? But I mean, it wasn't amazing. I'm certainly not excited by the pick.
No. And with that Elder Titan pick, so for Mineski, Febby and Paladai both play Elder Titan. For the Nature's Prophet, it's either Paladai or KP that's going to play it. And I feel like this kind of...
5 seconds remaining.
I don't know, it gives it more chance for KP to be the one playing the Nature's Prophet. And I'm personally not that big of a fan of a Core Prophet.
Yeah.
Sheep.
I'm sorry.
What the hell? It's not like Core Prophet.
Mineski's turn to
Monkey King.
Oh, Monkey King. Okay. There's a damage dealer coming out here.
Hey, and Prophet with the Sprout, it can really be annoying to Monkey King. So that's already
the
countered
Sprout
there.
is good for Monkey because you put the trees and the Monkey can jump on them.
No. You put the trees, which destroys the trees that Monkey King's on.
That's
you're
trees.
destroying trees with more trees, though.
Yeah, but he will get
You mean
stunned.
the trees that are alive?
What?
It just spawn the trees. The live trees.
Yeah, but if Monkey King is sitting in a tree,
Yeah.
and you put the Sprout on him, or on the bunch of trees that is there, you'll stun him.
What?
No, Sprout is the circle of tree, Shiver. And
Yeah,
you
but
just
if
see
you
him.
put the circle of... I mean
The
spawn
trees don't
treants.
destroy
I mean
trees.
spawn treants.
That's right, Shiver.
That's two very different stuff. We were
helping
arguing.
me.
Come on,
Trees.
you know what I meant.
You're giving
I
me
didn't
more
know.
trees.
You know what I meant. Don't be mean.
All right, let's talk about J.Storm, though, for a sec here. They go for that Ember Spirit early, and where's the lockdown still for J.Storm? You got a Rubik lift, which is garbage. Then you go for a carry like Monkey King. I mean, good luck getting Ember Spirit to stand in that ult for very long.
Yeah.
Does Split Earth still destroy trees as well?
Well, it stops him from being in the trees, at least.
Yeah?
Monkey King. I don't know if it stuns him. Slacks knows that, right?
Absolutely, it does indeed.
Remaining.
Do that.
Absolutely, it does.
It absolutely does do that indeed.
Okay. I'll believe you for now.
Yeah, Monkey King really annoying for Ember in the lane if they want to put him there. Probably not gonna happen though. I mean, this basically makes it so Ember can't go mid, which is always open. But Ember versus Monkey mid will be a disaster. And the Lashrak, that should be core, or is it? How are they laning this?
There's the Pango.
They do go for 4 of Pango.
Finally.
Finally, it comes out.
Waiting for that Pango on J.Storm. Make some work. Make some stuff happen.
And that is probably a Rev Pango.
Yeah.
Yeah. They have not won with that yet at this event. Go on.
Pango's a real interesting character these days. I mean, you kind of want a bunch of stuns, you want a bunch of lockdown, but then you got somebody like Pango, who just goes in and insta-bashes and silences potentially on somebody, and then who cares about stuns and lockdown? You just kill the guy. We saw that so many times. So, could work. I don't know.
If you just get a couple levels in the J.Storm, they have decent lockdown now. Like, none of their heroes are super good. The lockdown, but if Rubik gets a couple level with a change to his passive, his lift all of a sudden becomes like 3 seconds or something.
Whoa!
Or even longer. It's not too bad.
3 seconds?
So we're on our way to look for that mid matchup again. I mean, we don't really know where Ember's gonna go, of course. It could be going either way, but for J.Storm, the Queen of Pain last time definitely fit into the category. We've been talking a lot about what heroes Bryle likes over last when we saw them play. Bryle likes you want to see them on those active heroes. Queen of Pain fit that perfectly. She might not be the best hero herself, but Bryle makes it work. So the question is, what type of hero? What hero are we going to see for him this time around?
Well, he likes TA, doesn't he? Not the greatest against Lesh and Ember, though, sadly.
Yeah.
You know, what other active heroes are there? You can just go around slaying people. There's Mirana, which is kind of active. I don't know if they play that hero, though. It seems to be an NA hero.
I'm still on the reliable stun train, I'm sorry.
Okay, that's okay.
I still want somebody. I'd even put Monkey King mid. Screw it.
You can do that too.
Dire team pick.
Yeah.
Shadow Fiend is the ban coming out from J.Storm, and we are going for a Death Prophet this time on the side of J.Storm.
No flashy hero then, just well-rounded. Just can get the towers. You kind of like the tower push and objective taking, so this... They probably got annoyed by that hero last game, so they just take it for himself. Seeing this hero being picked a lot recently.
Yeah.
10 seconds remaining.
Mineski with their last pick. They've got a lot of ways to move around. They've got a ton of magical damage. A decent amount of right click coming out too. And they're going to go with the Clinks.
Why didn't you predict that, Slam?
Wow.
The back pocket Clinks.
All right, talk to me about Clinks for a second while we have the time.
Well, he got completely reworked. Before, you always got the Death Pack, the creep, and run around picking people off. That is completely changed now, so you're more of a team fighter with the ultimate. And at the start, it was kind of bad, the ultimate, but it's been fixed now, so it does insane damage, and people underestimate how much damage it does, so...
So you're thinking it's a good pick here?
Yeah, if you can just keep them still and they have Ember, just change people, you have them in the ult, and pretty good. I don't mind it.
Who do you think is going to take game 2?
Who's on the Clinks team? Was that Mineski?
Mineski.
Yeah, I'm feeling Mineski. Sorry, NA Dota.
Wow. I like J.Storm on this one. Clinks is a powerful hero, but as Bulldog said, you got to have some lockdown. You got to have them stay in that area. And these heroes that they got on J.Storm, they're pretty wily boys. Although I do hate Rubik. Screw it. All right, well, J.Storm.
I'm thinking that Mineski, if they lose this game, they're out, and they're not gonna take any chances. So this Clinks, it's gonna work. They believe in it, so I will believe in it, and I'm going for Mineski. But let's find out what's gonna happen here in the second game of the series with ODPixel and Gods.
Mineski versus J.Storm, game 2 just about ready to start with myself, ODPixel and Gods. And we're seeing a bit of a new hero, Clinks, being brought into the fray. Moon's going to be the one to be playing it. The panel said, I mean, Bulldog said he believes in the Clinks. This hero is something that can do a lot of damage in the right situations. But, I mean, why are people not playing it? What are the downsides of bringing a Clinks into a game?
You need a player who understands the hero for one thing, and I think the big change to his ultimate, most Clinks players kind of stopped playing it because it changed the hero in a way where he's totally different. As Bulldog mentioned, he's a team fighter now. He's not this like single target pick off burst damage hero like he used to be as much. So I think a lot of people also stopped playing him because the new ultimate was garbage when it was added. They had to buff it a little bit. Now it's a lot better. But very much it was a hero that just got ignored. Moon, though, level 13 on his Dota Plus. So he's a big Clinks player.
Okay, yeah, he's been spamming it.
And that to me is why, you know, that's where Clinks can fit in. If you have a guy that understands how strong the hero is, he plays it a lot, he knows how it works, and it is still very, very viable.
Well, let's see if Moon can have a bit of a better lane than he did in game 1, where he saw him die 3 times in that 1v1 matchup.
Clinks strong laner, and Death Prophet a hero you can kind of outrange and stay away from, so you don't, you know, get too close for that Spirit Siphon, or if she runs at you to Spirit Siphon, you've already gotten her very low. So I imagine Moon should fare pretty well here.
See around the runes, J.Storm will be able to get over and get the one from Mineski's half map. At the same time, up top, Mineski are able to get over and take that of J.Storm. So just the 2 for 2. We'll see how the lanes settle up. KP, of course, playing the Caller Shrek at the moment, and he is up top. Will be backed up by the Elder Titan, as they'll run the 2 of those against Farev's Pangolier. And once again, J.Storm starting the game with an aggressive tri-lane, bringing the 3 heroes down bottom to make sure that Moon gets the good start on his Monkey King.
Yeah, this Monkey King can cause problems this game if he starts to snowball here. And the lane against the Ember could be problematic for Arjit if he's not careful. I imagine we will see that Sleight of Fist built, so probably going to look to play around getting last hits, securing creeps, using Sleight of Fist, and not giving the Jingu to move as much as possible.
So once a couple of levels are there, there's definite kill potential from J.Storm, having these two sort of disablers, the telekinesis and the ability to root from March. Can certainly hold someone down long enough to get those stacks of Jingu up.
And they are tri-lane down here, so they definitely want to try and contest Arjit as much as possible. The downside of this is often that your 1v2 Pengo struggles, but Pengo's doing okay. He's got the at least wave near his tower for now. He's not getting CS, but his lane is not a complete disaster. You're seeing mid though, Klink's actually not having the best time against this Death Prophet. Moon went to lane without any regen, only brought some out after the initial bounty runes were picked up, so he's getting harassed quite heavily. Death Prophet is a very strong laning stage hero.
And obviously with this tri-lane down bottom, it's going to mean that J.Storm are leaving forever on his own up top on the Pangolier. Do you think should he be fine against these two heroes, or can Mineski kill him?
They shouldn't really be able to kill him if he uses and holds onto his Swashbuckler. He only dies if he gets greedy going for some last hits, or Swashbuckle's on cooldown and then he gets too close. But theoretically, he gets at least experience out of this lane. The question is, whether or not your aggressive tri-lane actually can win their lane, because right now Ember has 8 last hits despite there being a tri-lane down bottom. And if you're running these tri-lanes and not, convincingly winning the lane, it's a little bit concerning.
All the supports sort of battling against one another. Pi was able to force back March, but then Fear tag teams in to sort of force Pi back.
Yep. And you've boots on Rubik, but that does not allow you to hold your ground and trade right clicks better with a Blightstone Nature's Prophet. So Nature's Prophet doesn't care about your boots. If you're hitting him, he's hitting you. If you're running away, well, he won't chase you.
We'll have the creep wave moving back into a more favorable position, J.Storm. Yep. They'll do their best to play around here, try and disrupt any sort of pulling being made by Mineski.
Yeah, nice move by March. Puts the sentry there to block the stack from happening and make sure that the Ember doesn't get that pull, because the lane is pushed up very deep here. So they need to find a way to pull the lane back, and that big camp is something that Radiant always looks to take advantage of in these kind of difficult safe lane matchups.
And Forever up top, as we say, being alone, he has managed to find 7 CS so far. Still, there will be this KP less.
Use the Swashbuckle.
No trouble farming and Jerseys. At any time he's used that, has to keep his distance, cannot afford to stand close to the creep wave.
Yeah. Tried to run at him to punish him, but he was in a good enough position. And it's really this kind of cat and mouse game where Four of us going to be constantly trying to use Swashbuckle to get a last hit or two, and then Mineski's going to try to punish.
Moo's actually able to walk down Arjit and gets the 4 hits off. Just even without the disable at the start, just able to hit Arjit the 4 times. So sure, the disable comes in to make sure that he can get the first blood onto Pi. But Arjit has to be careful against this Monkey King. Allowing him to get that buff up will mean that Pi is going to be the one that feels the pain.
Yep. Good start to the aggressive tri-lane down bottom. Even though the Ember was getting some CS out of this lane, you've claimed the first blood now, and with a few more levels, this should start to swing more and more into J.Storm's favor. You see mid lane, still very Death Prophet favored, CS-wise and the denies.
Again, bottom. Yep. To get the slam down onto Arjit.
That's fine though, it's kind of just free, couple hundred health regen. He gets the Jingu, gets some harass out of that, so he is a bit low in regen here, and the courier often being just, occupied in the mid lane, so using some mana to regen some health there, well worth it, and Boundless Strike already back up.
You have been denied.
We have to get some of the wave denied here to the camp.
Nice steal.
See Moon.
Another Boundless Strike being used just to try to secure some of these last hits.
And we'll get a good few of just the smaller ones at least. As we're going to see 2 for J.Storm and 2 for Mineski.
Yep. So, as it stands, small edge for J.Storm with the first blood and the slight laning stage advantage, particularly with the mid lane going the way of the Death Prophet.
Yeah, and this bottom. 31 for 10 against the 18 for 1.
Yep. But it is a slightly similar story up top. The problem is it's like, the hero doing well, winning their lane on Mineski's side is your 3-position Leshrac beating, out-farming the 3-position Pengo. because it's 2v1. But as far as carries go, it's your, a carry on Mineski's side, Ember, who's having a rough lane.
And you see March come around towards the mid lane, but Pielidae has eyes on him. Trent's out, and also Febby there by Moon's side. This time you can already see sort of Mineski adapting to how last game went. They want to make sure that Moon doesn't end up dying time and time again in the early 10 minutes of the match. And this time they're very reactionary and ready to keep him safe if anyone tries to make a play on him. Actually in the river though, Febby gets found out by Briar and March. They'll look to run him down. They've got the nukes to bring him out. That'll be Febby dead.
Yep. And his bottom lane is really tough for Argit now. He's kind of out of mana. Monkey's been continuously supported here, even with Nature's Prophet coming back into lane. This feels like a very dangerous lane for everyone to be in. And this double Wraith Band, very aggressive item build coming out of Monkey King to try and punish even further the matchup.
KP up top, just get the run down with the Diabolic Edict, get the stun off onto Forev, that'll be a kill.
Yep. Nice chase down, landing that stun. That's a solo kill, so KP making the right moves there. As it's like Pango just got a little bit greedy. Perhaps recognizing the supports have rotated off the lane, and that's where sometimes you do feel like, okay, I can get a bit more, but Let's Strike level 6 with Pulse Nova has a lot of kill potential in a lane like that. KP will be going for that fast Rod of Atos.
Mid lane. Do get the stomp onto Bra, but no real way to get back behind the tower. In fact, Bra does have backup. Fears there with the telekinesis onto the Elder Titan. Febby being chased by Bra. He's got one more crit swarm, not quite enough to kill him, bro. As Febby will survive.
Very, very close. Those stick charges barely keeping him alive.
And it almost feels like they, sure, we're seeing Mineski doing a lot to sort of help get that mid in a bit of a better position, but it is, this bottom lane, it's a slow start for Argit. He's being left alone on the Ember, and it's not an easy lane against this Monkey King. Towards the mid, the ult being used in an attempt to find Fear. Pielidae's going to TP in, but Fear's already out of there. Now with the wraparound Braille, he's going to commit with the Exorcism. Has the Siphon, stealing the life of Moon, and that's going to be Moon dead. Pielidae has to go for the TP out, will manage to make it away. Braille taking a fair bit of damage here from the army, but will be able to quickly take them out of it, as that was Mineski trying to make this aggressive play, but Braille able to easily walk in with the Exorcism. As Mineski, they have to be careful about how they step forward, especially when it was only an attempt onto a Rubik's life.
Yeah, that's a big punish. Death Prophet getting the kill. Great use of the first Exorcism. Will get some tower damage as well. He doesn't mind taking damage because he will heal up as soon as that Exorcism wears off. And the Klink's ultimate even giving him some extra gold. He gets 20 gold per little skeleton. I think he got at least 3 of them, so more money in the bank for Braille, who's having a great series so far. His game 1 was absolutely fantastic, and once again in that mid matchup, getting the better of Moon.
Yeah, KP's going to be the one that, as we see, has had by far the greatest start for Mineski. They're going to need him to make a lot of moves around the map, and already doing his job up top. 8 minutes in, he's able to clear up the tier 1 tower with that Diabolic Edict push, and pretty much has the money for the Rod of Atos coming in very shortly. Does get the stun straight up onto Forev, but Forev still with the swashbuckle will manage to get out of there. So we'll see what sort of moves KP starts to make, as he is the driving force this game as the Lesh.
That's a crazy amount of farm. We're looking at 9-minute Rod of Atos for KP. Very, very dangerous. He can start making moves around the map, catching heroes like the Pango. You may even want to rotate to that Monkey King's lane.
Oh, and Forev does use the swashbuckle, but Mineski weren't quite able to punish him for it that time.
Maybe kind of baiting up there. It's just the Pango for now. J.Storm would much rather play around this bottom side of the map. Have allocated now the mid lane for Fear. They want their supports to start eyeing off that level 6, and Fear, with 10-minute mark approaching, even with that book, will not quite hit level 6 with where he's at right now, so.
So J.Storm can at least get a deny on the tower. They'll try, but they won't get it. Moon is able to claim the final touch, get that extra bit of gold.
I like this. KP with the Atos immediately picks up a smoke. Knows that, he is incredibly strong right now. No one can really escape his Atos split earth gank, so if he can find a connection on one of these key heroes like the Monkey King, this is very dangerous. But
Fear with that
what a fortunate rune. That is so impactful.
Because this was such a big move, and now KP, he's in potential trouble. They're going to pop the Exorcism, and with that, they'll easily have the damage to take him down. That was I mean, that would have been the big move for Mineski, using this powerful Leshrac with this great Atos timing to get something done. But lo and behold, Fear being there with the Invis rune puts an end to any potential positive outcomes from that play for Mineski, as now, with the Exorcism not only getting the kill onto KP, they'll be able to take a tier 1 tower as well by the looks of it. Mineski, though, they are still trying to fight this.
Leshrac is back in 1 second. He'll be TPing bottom, I imagine.
Forev's got the Rolling Thunder. In fact, he's going to be the one to dive in under the tower. RG taking a lot of damage here. He has got the Sleight of Fist to dodge the bounce back with the Rolling Thunder, but with the Wukong's command down, they've lost the Elder Titan. They've lost Pilot Eye on the Nature's Prophet. The tower's down. RG still trying to poke with the Searing Change. Forev being focused by KP as he'll run him down with the Diabolic Edict. They'll get a kill, but Mineski lose 2 heroes and the tier 1 tower.
Yeah. They had to commit their entire team down there just to get the 1 kill on the Pengo. And the second, Leshrac TP's down there after respawning. Yeah, you get that 1 kill on Pengo for it, but J.Storm's already swinging to the mid lane and the top lane. And suddenly Leshrac's down there with Ember, and your KP's like, well, we've defended, they've backed off, now I got to go somewhere else on the map. So it's not a very efficient play coming out of Mineski. And unfortunately for them, I mean, it's such an unlucky Invis rune that for them that Rubik picks up, because that would have been a great way. A surprise Atos comes out, you initiate on Monkey King, you burst him down at the tier 1 tower while your team TP's in. That would have been like a 3-0 Mineski team fight win, I think. But
and you wouldn't have been losing that tier 1 tower.
Absolutely.
If you were able to pull off that play.
But that's how Dota works sometimes, and J.Storm are going to be smiling about that one.
They'll try for Moo. They do get the lockdown with the Atos into the stuns. Moo misses the boundless strike as well. That'll be a dead Monkey King.
Yeah, I mean, Mineski understand KP needs to get involved. It was a secondary smoke usage. The one bottom didn't work. This time around, they smoke all the way from bottom to top. And I talked about KP TPing in bottom and not having anywhere to go. That's why he's like, well, I got to get out of this lane. This is Ember's lane. I'm going to just run across the entire map with my support smoked up and chase this Monkey King down. Leshrac is the hero that can cause Monkey all kinds of problems at this stage of the game.
Yeah, Moo, of course, getting that preferential treatment in the laning stage, being part of that tri-lane. They get him into a good place. But yeah, if KP can continue to just catch him out, that will slow down sort of the big, powerful core that J.Storm have at the moment. Brawl isn't going to get hit by the Echo Stomp, and in fact, J.Storm, they're ready to chase as KP's being followed by the Rolling Thunder. Nature's Wrath comes in, bursting Fear down low, the Earth Splitter not enough to catch out Braille. As J.Storm will be able to avoid losing anyone there to Mineski's attempt to make a play around the tier 2.
Great job by KP, juking the Rolling Thunder. A Pengo player himself, he understood kind of how to position and run up that ramp so that the Pengo couldn't bounce onto him. If he got hit by that stun once more, it would have been his death. And as the leading net worth hero, that is a big kill if J.Storm can get it. In the end, J.Storm rotate in and don't find any kills, and they are trailing about 1,000 gold right now. Argent has managed to maintain some decent farm and item progression despite the pressure on him in that trial lane.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Still 1k lead at the moment for Mineski. They'll be able to keep the pressure on down bottom. Pilot Eye straight in with the Treants. Pressuring this tier 1 tower. Braille and March are heading down. Nature's Wrath will give up that they spot out Braille, and Pilot Eye's already TPing away. Doesn't want to be caught out, and he won't be. He's able to be out there before any potential boundless strike comes out from Moo.
Job done. I mean, his job, he wasn't expecting a tower. He was hoping for TP rotations, and he got them. That gives the whole Mineski side a lot of info. They now know, where J.Storm are on the map. They know some of these TPs are on cooldown, and as a result, they can play a lot more aggressive around this middle and top side of the map. Can they catch the Pengo? That is going to be the big question here. Leshrac is nearby with an Atos.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Perhaps got to be careful about getting baited in. Doesn't look like he'll fall for it. Mid lane J.Storm, they're pushing once again with the Exorcism. And that stolen Diabolic Edict. Fear able to add that extra bit of damage onto the tower. Mineski, I've got 3 heroes here trying to do something in reaction.
top tower is under attack.
So it doesn't look like they'll be able to do it before the tower falls. Does J.Storm get the tower? Braille's going to TP out. See up top lane.
Up here.
Braille, the remainder of that Exorcism will be able to push Pilot Eye and KP back.
Yeah, he doesn't have much left on it, but the good news with TPing in with not much left on it is that you're going to be healing up very soon, so he can take that Leshrac damage and then heal himself back up as bounty runes are spawning, and it does look like it's going to be a slight menace. No, it's going to be 2 apiece. No, 3 to 1. J.Storm actually able to sneak in the enemy side, so J.Storm get themselves a few more bounty runes.
Or Moon, he steps in, but the sentry's down. Fear and Moo prepared.
pretty common sentry place, and Moon just getting a bit too ambitious and bold with some of his rotations around the map there, running into those heroes of the bounty rune, hoping to snag it for himself.
And interestingly, well, the build at the moment that Moo has queued up, he has got that Battle Fury that he's going to be looking to build towards after the Echo Saber on the Monkey King. Help him deal with the deep push, able to clear out the treants and the waves, and of course keep him in this position where he'll be expecting to stay at the top of the network, have this farming potential that's going to be very hard for heroes like this Ember, Clinks, and Lesh to catch up and keep on pace with, unless Mineski are consistently finding objectives and kills.
I'm a little bit surprised to see this. I don't think it's bad by any means. He is like the hero, the team's main scaling right-click physical damage, and they will have some pushing issues. But Monkey King spells clear waves pretty effectively. But I think Moo just decided, we need a hero that's going to scale a bit better in the late game, and they don't trust in their ability to end this game fast. Mineski, we saw last game, able to drag the game out, and I think that's where J.Storm's like, well, if they're going to drag another game out, may as well get a Battle Fury on Monkey King.
That's Moo. In the trees, down bottom, you will see the Ember. Two aware of one another. Mid lane, Forever. He tries to get the Rolling Thunder off to go for Pi, but he can't do so in time. The physical damage from Moon, enough to kill off the Pango before he can make any sort of further play. Moo continues to be careful down bottom. He's got a fair bit of money saved up. That 1,800 gold. Does want to try and get that Demon Edge bought out before he is in sort of a risky position. In fact, jumping onto RJ. RJ, of course, more than prepared with the Remnant out.
Yep, just trying to scare him off the lane. And then we'll see him immediately bounce around the trees. The second you show on the map as Monkey, you've got to assume there's going to be heroes maybe running towards you, since you are one of those big prized kills. But Monkey has now overtaken Leshrac in terms of farm. KP trying to give a bit more space to the Ember, as well as Clinks on the team, and go for some of these kills. But the end result is that there has been a little bit of a fall off for him. See what J.Storm's next big move is going to be.
Bottom tower is under attack.
I think that Pengo ultimate does give them some ways to take a team fight if they so choose, but we haven't really seen that be their priority. Both teams just trying to play kind of more the efficient farming game, play the lanes, shove lanes, farm jungle, and focus on just one side of the map while giving up the other side to the other team.
I'm going to see if they can find Pi.
Yep.
Forever rolls in. Pi just goes for the straight walk up to the north. Let's go for the Cell Sprout, but the bounce is continuing. Pi ain't getting out.
Jukes the initial roll, but this wasn't really a good escape for him anyways. Kind of his role is historically been the case. Pylite Eye playing that selfless support, dying for the cause a bit, trying to push out farm in the risky lane where it's like, well, no one in my team's going to be here anyway, so I might get some farm, and if I die, not a big deal.
And there's not really a better hero to do that other than the Prophet. Every time he's up, he's just instantly going to be able to get out there in a position where none of the other teammates can get to. Let's move. He's got his eyes on KP. He's going to jump down. Browse there on the side as well with the Siphon and the Boundless Strike. KP's gone. Can't get a single spell out.
This Monkey now has all these levels. There's a lot of damage, and they're not done.
They're going to find a second as Febby. Run down by Forev. 2 kills for J.Storm. Picked up. And at this pace of game, 19 minutes in 10-4, where it's very even, you've got to look towards the Monkey King. And with that Battle Fury coming online very, very soon, J.Storm are going to be pretty happy with the position that they're in.
Yeah, the fact they've got all these different hero killing combos. It's the 2 cores, the Death Prophet, and the Monkey King who kill off the Leshrac, and then it's the Pengo who has a solo kill potential because of this Javelin of his. He just does so much damage with the Swashbuckle that he's able to kill an ET. So there's so many kill threats coming out of the J.Storm side, and they're doing all of this without even having to use Exorcism. So they can make these rotations now to maybe try and focus getting some towers.
Another time down bottom, Pi tries to go for the solo pushing, and he will get quickly dispatched off.
Yeah, as much as it's kind of his role at times, the deaths do add up in some way. No, unfortunately, will not get that bounty rune. He was hoping to make a play for it, but realized it was a little bit too dangerous. Very quiet game for the Clinks so far.
I was going to say, it slowed down a lot for Moon. He's not been finding too much.
He's, 0, 2, and 2. He hasn't really been in the action at all, so to speak. Has the, basic medallion into Dragonlance items. Does a lot of single target physical damage with this one.
They find KP this time. They get the jump out, and on the way back, he's not going to be able to run away from these three. Forev, Brian, and Moo.
Yeah, it's been really tough for KP. Just feels like wherever he goes to farm or push out the lane, he's kind of on his own, and Klinx isn't able to fight. Somebody needs like a BKB or something kind of early if you want to fight, it feels like. Until Klinx has that.
They're hunting.
Oh, they clipped him.
They did. They got him with the dust. He's trying his best to run Moo. There's the boneless strike from Moo, allowing them to have that little bit of lockdown to buy time for Fear to come in with the telekinesis. Up in the air goes Febby as he'll get sucked down by the Siphon. Tries to get a stomp off, but the silence there as well. J.Storm pick up 3 more kills. They'll now head towards the Roshan pit. As this game, it's being played at a pace that doesn't seem to do much for Mineski's heroes. The fact that J.Storm are being able to control the way that this game has played out in the first 20 minutes has meant that they just have a much greater outlook as this game goes on.
J.Storm's making better map movements. That's really what we're seeing here. Their rotations are absolutely fantastic. They're not overcommitting too many resources anywhere. They're, sending just enough heroes to the right lane to find these kills.
Najit, he walks into the river. He didn't expect them to be there. The whole team just collapses onto him.
Mineski's kind of crumbling. They're just falling apart. One by one, they're getting picked. We've seen KP die back-to-back in the top lane. We've seen support gets picked off. The Klinx got chased down after being clipped by a dust. No one in this Mineski team has really stepped up and said, look, guys, we need to do this, or we need to make this move. Like, other than those 2 smoke ganks that we saw from the Leshek, which were both good moves, after that, Mineski have been dead quiet. It just feels like they lack a leader or a voice to, get everyone on the same page right now. Moon's running around alone as a Klinx. He has no kill potential. As a solo Klinx, you can't play alone. This isn't like the old school Klinx with Deathpack playing a pub game. And even that old school Klinx, you couldn't play that style in pro games either. Mineski need to be more on the same page right now. And
now it's really going to hurt them, the fact that Moo has the Battle Fury complete 22 minutes, and it's not like a Battle Fury rush. He has that phase Echo Saber and double Wraith Bands, so he's got this great combination of being able to farm and being able to fight. He can pretty much deal with whatever Mineski sends at him. Unless he gets caught out alone, does have the Aegis though, and by the tower there would definitely be a reaction from J.Storm. So again, just very hard for Mineski to do anything. Moon's under a sentry.
He may go fight with this Aegis. He's got some backup, but I don't know if it's enough. He needs a few more heroes who are still at Fountain. The Pangolier is walking his way out to the lane.
I mean, what do Mineski do? I mean, what is the thing that their lineup can achieve at this point?
Their playmaker is still this Leshek with the Atos. They need to play around that better. Seeing KP, like the 2 deaths were when he went to push out a lane. As much as your Leshek is the most farmed and is one of the best heroes you have on your team at pushing out lanes, you need to use Leshek more as a playmaker. Nice dodge by Moo.
Another Yule's up into the air, but KP's going to get surrounded. Jumping in, Forev has the Rolling Thunder to lead in onto the Leshek. Boundless Strike down onto the 2 of them. That's going to be KP dead. And now with the BKB, Brawl moves on to another. They've got the vision on Moon. Moon bursted down, 2 cores dead on Mineski. And Moo's not done yet. Pounces forward with the Primal Spring. Looks to get on top of Febby. Telekinesis from Fear holds down the Elder Titan as J.Storm continuing to win fight after fight. Forev still alive. Sleight of Fist and Change does come out. And with the Remnant, Arjit will be able to pick up a second. But back deep on the half of Mineski's map, J.Storm just chased down another. Moo with the double kill. This Monkey King getting well and truly out of control.
Yep. I imagine Death Prophet thought that was going to be an easy survive with the False Promise. Normally Death Prophet's one of those heroes that gets tons of heals during it because you've got the Spirit Siphon and the Purifying Flames. But he actually lost health and got down pretty low. But J.Storm come out convincingly on top, even though Arjit gets a couple of backline kills. Kills off March and then chases down the Pengo, who couldn't quite get off another swashbuckle, but a 4-for-2 trade, and more importantly, J.Storm just with a lot of map control right now.
Yeah, it just seems the way that J.Storm's been addressing these games has been ideal. The way that they know if they give Moo this great start, he is absolutely this consistent player they can rely on. Wukong's command's going to get laid down towards the mid. They've got the trap onto KP. Mech's going to be popped, but it's not going to be enough to keep KP safe, as KP will fall once again. Another kill for J.Storm, another kill for Moo, as this Monkey King just continues to go from success to success. A silence onto Arjit. Arjit, he's not getting out either, or is he? No, he cannot. More glory for Moo's Monkey King. Forev's also found a catch elsewhere. Rolling Thunder in. They've got vision on Pi. He'll pop down a Sprout. And he get away from this one. A Root's going to be flying his way, as well as a Swashbuckle. And Moo, he wants the glory, and he'll get it. 8-1 and 8. Honestly, the games we've seen from J.Storm, Moo, he's back on this level of performance that we saw in the past, sort of that DC era at TI. This is Moo at his best.
Yeah, Moo is looking fantastic this tournament. What we've seen him since the group stage. J.Storm, they had a rough group stage. They finished last in their group. They, I think, only won 1 game out of 5 that they played. And this J.Storm here in the lower bracket has been fantastic, crushing their best of 1 against Na'Vi, and right now looking very convincing in this game too. And unlike game 1 where they had this big lead and were kind of snowballing, there isn't really the best comeback potential in Mineski's draft. There was a Morphling who didn't have good answers in game 1. This time around, Clinkz isn't that scary comeback carry. Ember Spirit, he's a good high ground defender, but he's not this hero that's going to scale and necessarily carry the game the same way a Morphling does.
And I mean, I really don't know about this Ember Spirit hero. I feel like we've seen this hero suffer so many times in these games. As yeah. It feels like one of those heroes that pros are valuing a little more than maybe it's worth. As I can't remember the more recent games, it's just been Ember Spirit losing.
Great glyph. They keep their siege creep alive. They want to go back in. Brile did take a lot of damage though.
Look at the Yules up dodging the Boundless Tribe of Browsing, now committing with the BKB, just forcing Mineski back away from the Raxes. Forev goes in with the Rolling Thunder, bouncing around the 3 of them. Shield Crash and a Swashbuckle down onto Pylai Die. Forev is falling a little low, starting to tank the towers, but he has that damage resistance from the Shield Crash. Moo's going to lay down the Wukong's command, secure this area, make sure that they can take this melee Rax away.
They can. It's going to be close.
Moo should have it. The question is if Mineski can make them pay in terms of lives. Moo, though, Boundless strikes straight out onto Moon. Moon on the front lines. He's just dead. The Clinkz is gone. They'll TP in. They do have the stun follow-up, but there's the false promise, keeping Moo safe and good to go. They have lost 2 on J.Storm. See if the other 3 of them can get out. Bral goes for the TP out behind the tree, and Moo will be able to jump away. So sure, J.Storm, they lose a couple of heroes, but they got the job done. They get that melee Rax.
Yeah, that's the big thing. Getting our melee Rax at this stage of the game. I mean, we're not that early on in the game. We're at 27 minutes in, but it's a lot of pressure now. That bottom lane is going to be continuously pushing out. And again, this one hero, it's really the Lesh is their main lane deep push, but he's also their initiating playmaker. So Leshrac doesn't want to be showing on the map to push these lanes, but kind of has to be. And J.Storm will now be poised to perhaps secure the next Roshan with that lane pressure down bottom. If they just spend the next few minutes, you know, getting some map presence, pushing out both mid and top lane, get some wards down, they'll set themselves up in a position to find more pickoffs, to take next Roshan, and it's up to Mineski to find some way to stop that from happening. They just need to get some of these heroes in the game. Clinkz specifically has been an absolute non-factor. This was their last pick, their X-Factor hero that they thought was going to be, you know, like a gotcha kind of pick, and Moon 0-5 has been invisible this game.
At this rate, it is going to be their last pick here at the Major. As this game too, not looking great for Mineski as J.Storm. 23-8, 5k up, a melee Rax as well. As you say, it's going to take some sort of epic swing around for Mineski to hold on to this one. RJ on the Ember Spirit, it's a hero that is so much harder to do than compared to the Morphling that he was on in game 1, where we did see that chance for Mineski to hold on to the game.
Mineski going to be giving up this top lane, which the problem is these towers will lose you a lot of control over this area of the map around Roshan, prioritizing the shrine as well, making it even harder for Mineski to contest this Roshan. And if J.Storm get it, that's Aegis and Cheese this time around. And that could spell Mineski's demise. The team fight just isn't really there with these heroes. ET pretty good at contesting the pit, but I'd say even better is like this Monkey Pengo plus Death Prophet. J.Storm just have the better team fight, the better Roche taking potential, and they're also just out-farming Mineski right now.
Dire are scanning.
It just looks so hard for Mineski to do anything from this standpoint.
They've got this BKB now, so they're very much saying, you know, we need to get items that allow us to team fight now. Ember doesn't want to die because he gets hit by a Lucky Shot silence or a Death Prophet silence. And he wants to be ready to contest this Roshan, it seems.
Would you? Very lucky that a silence didn't proc there.
Yeah, but KP, he's not going to be so lucky. He gets caught out. Greaves will keep him alive a little bit longer, but there's been a recurring theme of this game that KP, despite dominating his lane, he got a solo kill in Fora very early on with his early level 6, got a 9-minute ATOS or something, and then instantly has started to fall off. He died bottom, going for a smoke, and then got 1 successful gank, but he's died like 5 or so times back to back in this top lane.
It's just a little bit of an awkward game to see because Mineski, they just haven't done anything.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, you can talk about the Clinks not having an impact. You can talk about Leshrac.
It's everybody.
Just dying repeatedly. The Ember just quietly farming while also not having much of an impact. Pylai, you know, it's like, well, it's his job. Scout some heroes while he split pushes the lane, but end of the day, that's just, you know, another 5 or 6 deaths on the Nature's Prophet to no avail. He's not really creating space because the heroes he's creating space for are also dying, or they're not farming. They're not having an impact, so nobody on Mineski's side is really doing anything, like you said.
I mean, now Moo's going to have the BKB complete, and it is that point again where J.Storm, they can just walk up high ground, pop BKB, pop Wukong's Command and Exorcism, and it just doesn't look like there's the numbers or anything from Mineski that can push back some sort of siege like that at this point.
And it was a very fast Roche respawn. J.Storm, I don't think have even scattered it out just yet. Perhaps they'll be caught by surprise by just how quick it was, but before they go for another high ground push, they very likely will either go for Roshan or have to get a big pick off, which is what they were kind of eyeing off. That's why they're staying around. Playing around their wards, they know that this cliff that they're standing by is just so important to them. They'd rather not have to play the bottom side of the map as much, but at some point you have to deal with Pylai split push, and that's what Forev's job is for.
Usually able to do so with that Maelstrom. Swashbuckle shield crash clears out the full wave every time.
The rest of the heroes, though, continue to play around this ward that they've got. Such an important part of the map when you're on the Dire side trying to secure that next Roshan. I believe have scouted out Roshan now, but with 2 heroes still down bottom dealing with the split push, that's Mineski's way to just buy themselves some time to drag out this game. But as mentioned, without the morphling of game 1, it kind of begs the question, what exactly are they dragging it out for? Ajit does have a decent chunk of money after finishing his BKB, but he's going to need a few more big items, as will the Clinks, it feels like, to really turn this game around.
I mean, when it comes to high ground defense, it's not even like Mineski has some sort of crazy hold, really, is it?
Not really. It's a little annoying when, like, the Clink's ultimate can be a very strong team fighting, high ground defending tool, but if anything, J.Storm can just disengage and then reset. I think Mineski's way of defending high ground is what we're seeing here. It's split push. You know, keep this bottom lane shoved out. And it's very... Right now, J.Storm is showing that they're not really willing to hard commit in the top lane because they don't want to, you know, trade for bottom. Heroes like Clinks and Leshrac can actually split push very fast with Edict and Strafe. Use the Roshan. Brawl doesn't even need to use the Exorcism, so... They've been trying to catch this Pengo for so long. This is so much wasted time, and Forev playing a fantastic game. He understands what's going on. He doesn't see these key heroes on the map that can kill him. He has not been caught out, and probably true to the caster curse, may just go ahead and get caught out now. No, he knows. He's just stand back, on point. One more swashbuckle, and KP's just sitting there hoping he pokes his nose too far forward, but it's not happening.
A move after the BKBs, now got 2,700 gold build up, has the Aegis.
Yep.
He's, you know, he's got a load of different ways he can build now. I mean, it kind of feels like it doesn't really matter. He's that far ahead as it is.
Oh, Forev, he's been caught now. Pushed his luck a little bit too much. They used the Clink's ultimate. That's a big, big commitment. And I like what Pengo did by. He got the boots of travel. I was thinking, like, he's stuck at this bot lane constantly defending. Somebody needs boots of travel to be able to defend and get back into the team fight up top. So a good item pickup for him. And if his team do want to push high ground up here, he can TP in.
I've seen Brawl being focused first, but there's the reaction from Freya. Has the telekinesis onto Moon, drags him down to the low ground. He's been slept up by the stolen Echo Stomp, and Moon, he's dead.
I mean, without Clink's ult, they just lack so much damage here. It makes his high ground defense so much harder. They're pushing high ground 4v5.
With the Exorcism they can, and with how strong Moo is. They don't have to feel too scared. A little bit of damage onto Brawl, but he's pretty beefy at the moment at this Death Prophet. The amount of armor and mischance that he's sporting, they do manage to catch him out with the stun.
Has a cheese though.
Sleep. And he's getting held in place, but there's the false promise, and now he's back up with the Cypher now onto the 2 of them, chasing down Febby. On the back though, Archie will be able to commit with the BKB, get the kill onto March. They can kill off Brawl. He's back up to full HP. Moo still has the Wukong's command available. They managed to get the root out onto the Ember Spirit. Ember falling low. Arjit slides up to the high ground, has another remnant to get away. They'll turn their attention towards Febby as Febby gets smacked down by the Monkey King. Febby dead on the Elder Titan. They do lose Fear, J.Storm, but Fares ready to jump forward, chasing down KP with the Rolling Thunder. KP has the Ghost Scepter Yules up to dodge the Rolling Thunder, but Moo's ready and waiting for him as he comes back down, as that'll be a dead Leshrac. Buyback comes out from Febby.
I think they may just want to wait the next Exorcism now. They've still got some time on this Aegis, so they're not in a huge rush. Next Exorcism they'll still have an Aegis. They won't have the cheese. It was popped during that false promise to keep the Death Prophet alive, and Mineski do hold. That's the important thing for them here, but it does feel like a fairly expensive one with those buybacks being expended. Uh-oh, Moon. Dusted up. Uh-oh, and here's Monkey King.
Yep. Forever providing the vision. Moo should be able to provide the damage as Moon will fall. Moo godlike on his Monkey King. 10, 1, and 12 this game.
Yep. He has been quite the stand-up player here as J.Storm just go from victory to victory across the map. And they are so close to taking this series. Very tight game one, but Mineski, they're showing some resilience with the high ground defense, but much less comeback promise this time around, and they're really going to need a hell of a hold here. Klinx's ultimate's still on cooldown, and J.Storm, they've got that Exorcism soon. It's coming up in just a couple of seconds, so...
And you know, Arjit's picked up the Radiance on the Ember Spirit, but it's just so many games where it feels very underwhelming when you get it at this later time. 37 minutes in, BKBs are out. Already the cores are very beefy. You've got to sort of ask yourself, how much is this Radiance actually going to offer you at this stage? As for Ebb, he's around the idea of Rolling Thunder, the Exorcism out onto the tower. They'll try and focus the Death Prophet, but J.Storm can just push him with Brawl on the front lines. This very hard target for Mineski to go in upon. They've got the control looking for Arjit, but Arjit able to get the BKB off. Fortification now being used by Mineski. Arjit steps forward. He does manage to get the root off onto the Monkey King Moo.
He's got an Aegis though, so he's not the best target to go on.
And has the Boundless Strike as well if he wants to use it to heal himself back up whilst the Jingu is active.
Nice
They'll
splitter.
look for the Meteor Hammer to come down onto the Monkey King. They'll kill him off the once. But now the Hex there, out and Brawl backed up by the false promise from March. BKB popped as well by Brawl.
They've got to back off. Exorcism is down, Aegis is lost. They get a tier 3 tower, the chase is on. This is it for Mineski. Can they punish this?
They need to find something huge here, Mineski, if they want a chance of turning this one around. But the Wukong's command is down. KP used up for a little bit of time, but he'll come back down. Can he get himself away? Held in place by the root. The swashbuckle off the mark. Moo jumps forward with the BKB. 2 more slaps, and KP's dead and down. Arjit does get March in return. Buyback from KP. See if they can find anything more. They've got the vision onto the Klinx field with the telekinesis. Holds Moon in place. Drags him back, but the Echo Stomp is out. They're holding him down, and now they can turn. They've killed her forever.
Arjit's doing a lot of damage.
Moo's dead on the Klinx. Can Mineski get more? They've got the control onto Moo. They surround the Monkey King Moo. He's in trouble. He's dead. Mineski.
Arjit, with these BKBs, once they wear off, his radius...
Are they actually doing it? There's 3 dead without buyback.
Wow.
He's actually doing it.
Mineski, I mean, it's not really the hard carry you'd expect, but Arjit, you know, a long drawn-out fight is where an Ember can shine. I guess
with that raid, it did work off, as you say.
And they push fast, you know. Edict, this is troublesome.
They've got a buyback on Moo, but no buybacks available on the other 3 of J.Storm, Mineski.
And Moo does not have his ultimate for I think, 30 seconds or so. Even though he buys back, he can't really defend this one. They're going to get at least immediately around. Wow, what a turnaround.
Where J.Storm...
They hung around too long. You know, that Earth Splitter, Febby with the high ground defense, that stun into Earth Splitter, he kills the Aegis, which is nice, and he also forces out the false promise. So once those big things have been used, you can chase and you can gun for more. You know, BKBs are going down. They kite around the Wukong's command very well. Yes, KP dies, but he forces Moo to overcommit, and at that point, the turnaround and potential of an Ember Spirit, he's going to punish anytime you overextend because of just how good he is at chasing you down.
Maybe, just maybe, Arjit could do it this game. He tried so hard in game 1 on his morph. We said it, you know, it is harder for him this game on the Ember Spirit, but maybe he can still do it. Spy is looking for Forever, but Forever with the Rolling Thunder. Wow, so he'll be able to get away. There's a lot of Mineski down here. That Forever's going to roll back, looking towards Febby. As he's going in on this, moves there with the backup as they will find Febby. Febby will fall. You see Fear ready. He's got the gun ready to blow with as he has the E-Blade. He's ready to nuke some people down.
It's unexpected pickup, but makes, I mean, the Ghost Scepter makes sense, absolutely. And then he probably just said, well, let's just upgrade it. I can save a teammate, not just myself with it now. If someone's getting stunned and gone on, the E-Blade to protect against the Clinks. And also, like you say, the offensive potential of this item is pretty nice as well. So we'll see how things unravel here as J.Storm immediately go aggressive. Posture on the enemy side of the map. Pen goes top, but he's got the boots to travel, so can always TP back in to join up with the team. Looks like they really want to try break high ground with Exorcism, but are they pushing their luck a little bit too far?
Just got the Shiva's Guard now completed as well on top of the Radiant. So he has the potential to stay alive, keep the fights going and drawn out. Already, though, the jump's going to be in. They commit with the Hex. Can they do anything to get them off? KP's falling low. Can he get out of this? He'll go up in the air. 4S falling down, but the huge Wukong's command comes out from Moo. Pi Lai Die run down by Briar. Pi will fall. 3 dead on Mineski. They'll buy back on the Nature's Prophet. March gets run down from Arjit. All eyes on Arjit at the moment for Mineski, but he's been silenced. Siphon. Arjit is dead. He does not have buyback, as well as KP being down for 100 seconds. Moon gets boundless strike by Moo. All 3 cores dead without buyback. J.Storm have the Exorcism still going. They'll move to mid lane, take the racks, and almost certainly look for more as they've got a huge window to work with now to close this game now.
Yeah, Monkey King having that level 25 talent, that extra big command ring, and more importantly, the hero that helped Mineski win the last fight, Leshrak, by running in and dying. He won them that last fight with his buyback, but this time around, no buyback. He still has to run in and start the fight. He has to soak up the attention so Clinks gets ignored and Ember can kind of just do his thing just on the edge of the fight, cleaning up all these low health heroes, waiting out the BKBs. But with KP not having buyback, suddenly you can't actually win this team fight in.
That's the Megas.
Down Megas, potential Roshan to fall back to as well, which is a refresher shot as well. And
you can see the smiles there as well.
Yeah, J.Storm probably could have gone for the throne, but, you know, this is a match that will get you into the top 8 of a major. Potentially, you know, if you do well enough here, you're going to TI, so they're not messing around. They'll take the Megas and take Roshan and play this one as safe as possible.
And Mineski pretty much down to that final chance to hold and turn things. You see that on the net worth. That was that first initial turn, that big bump, but J.Storm have got everything back on track now.
Yeah, this game gets damn near impossible. Mineski can definitely stall it out and defend. You know, Ember, one of those heroes that will make this game difficult for J.Storm. But it does feel like Mineski will have to do the impossible here. Aegis, Cheese, Refresher, but more importantly than anything, it's the Mega Creeps factor. You're stuck defending your base. You don't have any real way to win this game, barring J.Storm making some colossal errors.
And just sort of both games, these series, some of the Mineski players just struggling to have any sort of impact. I mean, Moon, both matches, this one with the Clinks, it just, nothing's really gone his way.
For that jump here, got double Exorcism. How do you fight into this? So difficult with the Oracle backing up the Death Prophet as well with that save.
As there we have the first Exorcism out. Mineski, they've got to make a move soon, as it will very much be their last one.
They were only showing Death Prophet, really. Everyone else just playing really far back.
As the first tier 4 will fall. J.Storm moving in for more. They get the Hex out. Force will bring KP back to safety. Outside, though, they're looking for Moon. They do get the sleep out onto the Death Prophet. Will be removed. Exorcism still going. They'll go in with the Swashbuckle onto KP. Has the Edict. Pulse Nova as well, trying to deal with these Mega Creeps. J.Storm are forced back.
That's the Clink's ultimate down, though. And Death Prophet has a secondary ultimate here if they want to commit for this push.
As there we have the Telekinesis, the Boundless Strike onto the 3 of them. There's the Refresher Shard. Second Ghost are ready to come out. Mineski pushed back to the fountain. They do turn. They got the Sprout controlling Brawl for now. Moose still has that Aegis ready to go if he wants to commit. E-Blade keeping the Death Prophet safe. Wukong's command is down, surrounding the Ancient. The tier 4 falls. Mineski, can they get into the Wukongs to try and fight J.Storm off? That's the question, but the Ancient down to half health. They will be able to burst down the Oracle on the back lines. They have got a fortification to work with, but the Hex, the Boundless Strike down onto Moon. Moon being forced back, has got the Invis to try and back up to the fountain, but Forev comes in with a Swashbuckle Shield Crash. 2 dead on Mineski. The Ancient being focused down by J.Storm. J.Storm. GG is called, and J.Storm will take the series 2-0. They'll be the ones to move on today here at the Dream League Major, and the end of the line here for Mineski.
Absolutely top plays coming out of J.Storm. The young mid Braille really stepping it up. He was one of those, young mids who was talked about, is he going to be the next big Sumail? Had a few lands last season that weren't the best, but here he is. Back-to-back games, crushing his mid lane, making a big difference. And just J.Storm, the team as a whole, every player was just on point today. The team, they were just making better movements. They were the ones controlling the game. Mineski were just sitting back, getting picked apart one by one, and it just didn't really feel like Mineski had a game plan in this series.
And Moo, once again, these solid carry performances that he's been bringing to the playoffs, they just don't stop each and every game. The consistency from Moo as a player, the way that J.Storm know exactly how to start off with him, run this tri-lane, get Moo this good first 10 minutes of gameplay, and you can rely on him to just take the game on his shoulders, and he's not going to be making mistakes in the late game.
Yeah, Moo and Braille there smiling, having a laugh with each other, and I think with the way they play, they deserve it at this point, because Moo is looking like, a new shining carry player here at this tournament. Definitely someone to look out for. He has been before. You mentioned like his old DC days where it feels like, he's back in that kind of form. You're going up against this guy. And it's not just the one here. We saw the lifesteal a few times back-to-back. This time it's the Monkey King. A different look, and it was just as impressive.
Absolutely. Moo showing us you can do it on a numerous amount of heroes. And, well, much more to come from J.Storm as they continue. But the end of the road for Mineski will be able to bring the panel back in, I believe. As, again, some of your predictions off the point here, analysts, and I just want to say, I told people this morning, put your shards on J.Storm, and just as a bit of an outlook to the next series, I put my shards on Infamous. So just saying, just saying, could happen.
Clinks, Bulldog, what happened?
Thanks, guys. What happened, indeed? What was with that? Clinks not working out.
I don't know. It's like I've seen it in my pubs when I played, and it always worked out. Like I dominate with it, but Moon apparently doesn't know how to play the hero.
Yikes.
Oh, but Brian just kind of outplayed him twice in a row in the mid lane, I feel. He just struggles so much, and, at the end they had like bottom 3 net worth on the Clinks. Not much to do then.
Brian had a great game, had a great series, actually.
Yeah.
What do you have to say about that?
I don't believe in Clinks. They don't even have lore for his new ult. There's no lore. Why does he have Skeleton Men? Who knows? What? But no, in all seriousness, though, great series by J.Storm, and I just feel like they just feel like they got it. Everything's clicking really well in that team this week. Sometimes it doesn't matter about how things have gone before. It's just great draft, all-rounded, did really well. Moo's being a beast this tournament.
That's all you need, really. Right. But actually, you know what else you need?
What's that?
You need someone to call the shots. So someone that's active all the time, and someone that we can hear very loudly on our side of the studio, and someone that is right behind the door right now. It's Mark.
March!
Hello, sir.
Hello, March. What up, March?
Hi.
Hi.
Pete. Dang. Take a seat. Increase the skill cap of this couch a little bit.
Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you.
All right, talk to me about that series, because there were so many crazy fights in the later portions of both games.
Yeah.
And we heard you guys from over here, but how was it for you?
Well, we were trying to stay calm. I don't know if
it didn't work.
Calm. Yeah? But like we usually get really hyped up and then start panicking and lose focus and stuff like that. So from the past majors as a team, at least we were trying to, tone down a bit and stay more focused. Yeah.
I want to talk to you about prep coming in to this. Who did you do a lot of work studying against, and in the tournament and then in the series?
Well, I had this bad feedback from my teammates. Whenever I do this kind of interview, I just let everything out and tell everyone what I'm thinking. So
this is half a joke interview. Just make shit up. I don't care.
Well, I just wanted to say, I kind of give a credit to Jimmy.
Sure. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, Jimmy prepped a lot. He spent a lot of times not sleeping and waking up early. Because for me, I play better when I have more sleeps, right? So I told him to, yeah, it's on your own. You watch all your replay. Tell me what you think, right? And sum it up, and then we start mock drafting. So. Yeah, Jimmy did a lot of that, and I give credit to him.
All right, great answer.
I want to ask you about that first game. Your cop was doing really well, kind of destroying his mid lane, but then mid-game he kind of died and bought back and blinked in to die again, giving away Roche. What was like? How did you feel about that? What were your like? How do you calm the team in a situation like that?
Well, it's not the first time we have done it, and then we learned our lessons.
Yeah.
Where like if people kind of sigh around them or anything, we kind of go make him tilt more, right? And we told the player that like if you say you're fine and I made a mistake and just get over it. Yeah. It'll be good. So we learned that in the past, and I was so surprised that Brow was like, even when he's a young player, he's like, "Hey, I fucked up, guys. Haha." Just.
Well, it was one of the
game harder, but it was okay. Yeah.
It was one of the few mistakes he did. Overall, he kind of was the MVP, I'd say, even.
Yeah.
Played really well.
I was surprised that he did so well.
Oh, hey, surprise!
Don't let him hear you.
He's a big man. He plays better on the bigger stage.
Oh, wow. That is important. And good that you can use that in the days to come as well. We also have a replay that we would like to go through with you. It will be on the TV table in front of you.
Take a look at yourself, brother. All right, walk us through this moment up here, my friend. Right here. Looky-loo. Big Olds. Where are we at? Pause.
Pause.
I want to get my bearings
here. This guy's the most farm, and he's completely out of position right now.
Yeah.
And the Pangoliers is going ham here. Like, where are you right now?
Well, I'm kind of in the back line, getting chased and like trying to dodge this.
Over here?
I'm dying to ETOT, I think. Yeah.
Over here? Oh, yeah. Beautiful.
I'm up there.
Are you scared of these skelly-mins right here?
Yeah.
Is this a fear for everybody? It seems like when those skelly-men are out, you're kind of moving around a little bit.
I don't have too much armor, so yeah.
All right. Jade. Whoop. What are you doing, Bulldog? I see you putting your finger.
Not sure. I'm not sure. I don't remember the fight, really.
Okay.
I think I was the only casualty here, as usual.
Yep.
But I'm happy. I was the kind of saying, like, help me, but my team says, you're dead. I mean, for it, my Korean brother is, like, trying to help me out, but he ended up dying here as well.
Rest in peace, brother. Bye. Oh, well.
Sleeping forever.
You already said that you would give the MVP to Bryle?
No, Jimmy.
No? Jimmy. But Jimmy.
That doesn't work.
So Twitch chat votes every game, and it's only the players, unfortunately, can't vote for coach.
I know who's the MVP. Like I don't know. I think Fear is MVP all the time.
Okay.
He's like popular, but in my heart, Bryle was the MVP of this game.
Let's see what Twitch chat thought.
Pretty sure it's Moon.
It's Moon. Twitch chat is not always friendly.
I think they misspelled Moo, though, or something like that, maybe?
Yeah.
Just misspelled it?
Maybe.
Accidental usage of that final letter.
Yeah.
It's on the other team too, though.
Oh, well.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us, March. I'm going to let you get back to your team, and we're going to see you on Wednesday, I believe.
Yeah, Wednesday.
Wednesday. And there you go. You know his schedule better than I do. It's a good sign. And yeah, we'll have Thomas play you out.
Thank you.
And you can take the microphone with you.
Off you go,
It's
Mark.
a gift.
Goodbye. Come back again. Goodbye.
Bye-bye, March. You know, if he would win this major, it is his month.
Ah.
Let's take a look at the bracket.
Oof. Oh, man.
As long as I can laugh at my jokes, I'm happy.
I'm sorry.
So J.Storm moves forward. They are top 8 and hereby also improving their record that they've had so far because they have made it to both previous majors, but they got stuck in top 12. Now already better results than the previous ones. So making some good progress here. Unfortunately, we have to say goodbye to Mineski, but Mineski, this was their first major. So, you know, they got a couple majors more to come. They're on the up and up.
Sure. I mean,
silver linings.
Yeah. It's great. You know, it's never a bad feeling exiting out of a major like this in this stage, but learning experience, and I'm sure that won't be the last we see at Mineski at these big events.
For sure.
Whoa.
Whoop.
The red button.
Go for it, Jake.
Click it.
It's all you.
Click.
Wow, he opened it pretty quick today.
Sad
Actually, he couldn't open the door.
Why not?
Why not?
Shaking his hand.
You don't open Panda doors anymore? You
He's
hurt
got-
your wrist?
He's got paws. Have hands open.
Hello friends.
Hi, Mom.
Let's get ready to rumble. It's time to explore the depths of your senses once more.
What sense today?
Yes, you guessed it. We're having one more glorious round of the Battle of the Senses.
Yeah, one more?
Today we're focusing on that human mouth of yours.
Mouth?
The sense I'm talking about is, of course, taste.
Taste?
The
Can
next
I say that
game
I'm
is
allergic?
called What the Heck Is This?
Everything.
You will taste 3 edible things each, and then guess what it is.
I'm
Meanwhile,
starting.